I made over $13,000 in the last 90 days here on Bybit, and in this video I want to show you how I analyze tokens and how I decide whether I want to enter or exit the token. I currently have a running trade on Ethereum, and we can see that it's about 0.55% in a loss. However, I aim to close this trade on a profit tomorrow morning. Now, how do I know all this information? I basically analyze charts using cycle indicators. Now, you can get cycle indicators and you can get comfortable with cycles by reading this newsletter, which you can find on strategymaster.io. Here you will find all information about cycles. How do I long market? How do I short? I'm talking about how I use every single indicator to make profitable trades. Now, let's speak about Ethereum, and based on Ethereum, I would like to show you in this example how do I analyze the token on different time frames and how I make the decision to enter the trade. First of all we have to do, we have to navigate to the Ethereum USDT chart. I use the Binance chart, but you can use any chart. I'm on the 12-hourly time frame because this is the best time frame for the analysis of any coin. At the bottom of the screen, I put three indicators on the chart. We have the 1-day cycle, we have the 1-week cycle, and the 2-week cycle indicator. In order to get access to these indicators, you have to register here on strategymaster.io. And if you want to put the indicators on the chart yourself, you have to get the premium package for 42 euros or $49 per month. This package will give you access to all indicators, all strategies that I use to make money on cryptocurrencies. When I start analyzing the token, I first take a look at the bigger picture. Where are we in the cycle? Now, I can see that the 2-week cycle, which is actually showing the long-term development of the token, we are already at the very top. We still have room to grow. Maybe in order to know this, we have to go to smaller time frames. But for now, I understand that we are actually at the end of our bullish trend. The 1-week cycle also confirms that. How do I know this information? Because looking at the past, I can understand that whenever the 2-week cycle goes above 80 and the 1-week cycle go above 80, it's where we actually make a top and we go into the bearish market for at least a couple of months. Now, this is also up and coming for Ethereum. Don't expect Ethereum to actually go above 5K and then spend more time there. We are going to go down and we are going to consolidate in this range below 4,000. However, before that, I want to know whether it's a good time to buy Ethereum. Now, looking at this chart, it is not the best time to buy Ethereum because even the 1-day cycle is above 90. It is actually showing 93, which again shows that we are overbought on Ethereum. If I take a look at the previous couple of weeks, I see that whenever we reach 90, we actually either we consolidate in the best case scenario or we actually go down as we did here. We did also here, and we also did here when we actually went above 80, twice or even 3 times, we still consolidated sometime and we went down. This best can be seen here in these examples. We reach 80, we consolidate and we go down. We reach 80 and we go down. Okay, there is always a retracement. However, in order to make a decision to buy or to sell, I have to go to smaller time frames. So I have prepared a separate layout for that. I'm going to navigate to this layout. Here you will see a bunch of indicators, bunch of strategies, and even different colors and arrows on the chart. Now, in order to actually understand what is going on, let's analyze everything one by one. Now, at the bottom of the screen, here you can see a bunch of different indicators. This is actually the same indicator that you can get yourself if you navigate to strategymaster.io. In this website, you have to register for a free newsletter in order to read the articles and read my analysis. And if you want to have the access to the indicators yourself, you have to get the subscription right here for the 42 euros or $49 per month. Now, coming back to the chart, we can see the 2-hourly cycle, 4-hourly, 12-hourly, 1-day, and the 3-day cycle. The 2-hour cycle basically shows the development of the coin for the next couple of hours up to 24 hours. Now, every time it's below 20, it is actually oversold on the short term. So right now, it is clear that we are oversold on Ethereum and we might pump up for at least 6 to 8 or even 12 hours. Now, you can see that the same thing happened before. Whenever we go below 20, here, we then make a full bottom and we continue to the top until we make a top on the 2-hour cycle. We make a top and we retrace to the downside. During such bullish markets, the retracements are extremely small and we actually spend just 1 day and we maybe go down by 5%, which basically if you're a hodler, you can continue hodling. However, if you're a trader, you want to use every single opportunity that you have. Now, the 4-hour cycle is one of my favorite ones because it actually the price follows this cycle really well. You can see right here, we make a bottom in the cycle. It's already end of the bearish trend, okay? And then we go up. Once we went up, we made a top, and now we are consolidating down. Sure, again, we don't have a big bearish market because we're extremely bullish, but we went down by 4%. And as a trader, you want to avoid that and you want to close your longs. Somewhere there, you want to open fresh new longs there when the cycles go down. And guess what? Tonight, Ethereum is going to pump because the 4-hour cycle is going to go to the bottom. The 2-hour cycle is going to be at the bottom. So we definitely going to pump tonight, maybe even until morning or maybe midday of Monday. And this is where I'm going to close my long for profit. Now, the 12-hour cycle, the 1-day cycle, and the 3-day cycle, they're showing the longer term movements of the coin. And in this situation, yes, we are actually overbought. You can see that the 1-day cycle is at the top. The 12-hourly cycle is already trending down, okay? So we should be actually thinking about selling. This is one last push for Ether before it actually consolidates for at least a few days, okay? That's how it's going to work. That's how we analyze the market. Now, if you go back into the past, you see exactly this situation, exactly this pattern in practice, okay? The 12-hour cycle goes to the top. We sell or we open fresh new shorts. Yes, we might pump by a couple of percentage, but you should not get scared. You should simply short until the 4-hour cycle breaches the low. The 2-hour cycle, the 4-hour cycle breached low, and then it go up to the races. We never know how much we're gonna pump, but we don't have to know. We simply know the timings. And using the timings, we know when to close and when to open our short and long positions. And if I go more into the past, you can see exactly same pattern unfolding multiple times. Now, if you have a premium access to the Strategy Master subscription, you basically have access to the buy and sell indicators. These green arrows show that, hey, you should be buying right now, right here, right here. And these red arrows show that should be selling at these moments. So it showed the perfect bottom for Ethereum. It showed a couple of sell signals when you had to take the profits here, here, there, and even up. So basically using these signals, you're actually being a profitable trader. Understanding cycles, you even more profitable and understanding the market even better. The best trade I did recently was actually this Ethereum trade at the 3.5K level. Now, if I want to analyze an even day trade, I can even go to the lower time frame, like the 30-minute time frame right here. This time frame gives me even more possibilities to enter or exit the market. Look at this. Basically, today at night, or basically last night, midnight last night, I saw a big buy signal right here. We saw this green flag. Why did we see this green flag? Because the 2-hour cycle went down and the 4-hour cycle went down. Now we're talking about Bitcoin right here, okay? Let's switch to Ethereum. Well, all these cycle indicators, they work on every single coin, okay? But we want to analyze Ethereum right now. So we are currently on the buy zone on the 30-minute candle. That's why I opened the trade today morning. I opened the trade somewhere here when we are about to enter this green zone right here. I knew that we are going to pump, and that's what's happening. We are currently pumping. If I come back to my trade, I'm already in the profit. I already made $66 just by recording this video in the last 7 minutes, okay? And we're gonna continue pumping until this 2-hour cycle gonna go up and gonna break somewhere. It might go to the 80 or it might go to 60 and it's gonna start breaking. I'm gonna close my trade once Ethereum pumps a little bit more. However, on the 30-minute cycle, we are actually overbought. We are in an overbought zone. So we have to really now pay attention to the market if we are analyzing the market in the short term. Now, going slightly in the past, you can see that we have also multiple sell signals. Depending on your risk level and how much you're willing to put on the plate, you'll see the buy signal and you'll see 1, 2, and the 3 take profit levels, okay? And most probably even more. Well, later on, we're going to see another take profit level, most probably tomorrow morning. Here you decide how much you want to risk. Basically, if you apply leverage and you open the trade here, even on the first take profit, you already made 2.7%. Okay. If I come back right here, I usually use 10x leverage on such trades. But by the way, right now we're on $86 profit, but I expect this position to even go to $500, $600, or $700 throughout the night. One part of being a profitable trader is understanding that you don't need many indicators on your chart. Basically, all I use is one cycle indicator applied on different time frames to understand where we are bullish and where we are bearish. But all different time frames actually coincide and they show that we are basically oversold on all time frames. Well, it's a wonderful indication to buy. The same with overbought. We're currently overbought on the higher time frame, the 1 day, the 1 week, and the 2 week. However, we are still not overbought on the smaller time frame. So the top is near, but the top is not there yet. That's how you analyze the market. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. After watching this video, you will understand the market much better and you will be able to make profitable decisions yourself. And don't forget, subscribe to strategymaster.io in order to get the access to the all cycle indicators and in order to read my analysis. You don't have to pay. Simply subscribe for the free one and read every single newsletter. And within 1 month, you will become profitable. See you in the next one.